I swear my sitting and dancing game is really dead at the minute. I used to be so good at it. I'm so sorry, guys. Hi, it's Scola and welcome back to Motivation Monday. So today I'm going to be talking about a condition that I have that causes me to gain weight completely out of my control. So let's get into this. This is something I talk about on my channel a lot, and I kind of want to give you guys a bit more insight to it. I know I made a few videos about it in the past, but I just want to kind of refresh you guys on it because I talk about it so much and you guys must be like tired of hearing about it. But also I saw a lot of you guys being kind of interested in what my condition was, what I was talking about, and like I kind of skim over it because I assume everyone knows by now, but not all of you know. So if you don't know anything about me, by the way, I basically lost a lot of weight when I was about 14 to 16. I managed to lose 50 pounds, and then after that, a few years later, I got diagnosed with a condition called hypothyroidism. So hypothyroidism, I'm gonna Google it and actually get the correct definition for what hypothyroidism is. So hypothyroidism, not to be mistaken by hyperthyroidism, also called underactive thyroid or low thyroid, I said thyroid weird the first time, sorry, is a disorder of the endocrine system in which the thyroid gland does not produce enough thyroid hormone. It can cause a number of symptoms such as poor ability to tolerate cold, a feeling of tiredness, check, constipation, and depression and weight gain. So those are all of the, not all of the symptoms, there are way more symptoms, but that is basically what Google came up with as soon as I Googled it. And that's pretty spot on for me personally. So basically, I noticed myself starting to gain weight and I couldn't control it. I was still very fit, very active, eating healthy, being really good and all that good stuff. And you guys have probably sort of watched me gain the weight back, which just sucks. And we're not gonna go into that because, you know, positive vibes, happy vibes, all the time, all the time. Not all the time, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be frustrated, but I've had my time being frustrated with this condition for way too long. I've used it as an excuse for way too long, and I'm in a stage where I really just want to like push through it. But I also want to talk about what it's like living with a condition that causes you to gain weight. There are so many different conditions and reasons why people gain weight, and I hope this will sort of help you guys and give you insight into how it is, because it's not just hypothyroidism that causes you to gain weight. You could be depressed, or you could have anxiety, all these different things that are very common, or you might even have this condition and you don't even know, or you're feeling these kind of symptoms and you haven't even thought to go and get yourself checked out. So before I even get into anything, my first thing is to go to the doctors and have regular checkups as often as you can. Obviously, I am very blessed to live in a country where the healthcare is free. I can go to the doctor sort of anytime I want without having to, you know, pay a lot of money. That's what I was going for anyway. I'm really sorry, my brain went all fuzzy. Hypothyroidism for you. But anyway, if you can, just make sure you go and get yourself checked out as often as possible, just because I could have got this sorted out way earlier, but I just left it so long. So I first started seeing the symptoms of this condition when I was 14, and the first symptom I saw was I kept passing out very randomly and for no particular reason. I'd feel very tired, my energy would just be so low, but it wasn't as bad at the time. And then fast forward a few years later, I think it was 16, at the end of my journey, again, still passing out, still having these sort of like symptoms and all these different things going on. I went to get checked out, they didn't find anything. Fast forward to when I was about 19, 20? I'm 22 now. 19, 20, I can't remember now. I went to the doctor and I was like, do you know what? No, this is going too far, and more things were feeling weird. Like I had all these other things going on with my body and I was like, this is getting weird. Had myself checked out, took them 6 months to finally just figure out what it was. So it was a long time. It does take ages to really figure out what it is, but if there's something that's bothering you with your health, please just go and get checked out and go to a doctor and have it figured out. And I just feel much better for having done that now. So I kind of want to talk about how mentally I've dealt with a condition that caused me to gain weight and how that makes me feel. Now, for me, basically what worries me most about just gaining weight is that I can't control it. The way the condition works is that it makes it very difficult for me to to be able to maintain and control my weight. And also the other symptoms that come with it means that even just to stay healthy makes it just impossible. So weight gain, it doesn't automatically mean unhealthy, but the problem is with weight gain, it also increases how lethargic I feel, how I lack energy. It makes me feel like heavier in my body and all of these sort of things. And because the rapid sort of weight gain isn't keeping up with how I'm sort of getting used to it, it makes it harder to keep up with it. And I guess that's the best way I can explain it. And so it makes me just worried for my health, because I'm like, I'm always lethargic. I'm not even staying active. I'm not even eating healthy, because all the other symptoms are making it really difficult, because other symptoms that come with it is like depression. And it's so hard to get yourself motivated to do anything when you're depressed. Like honestly, if you haven't experienced it, count yourself very lucky, and I hope you never ever have to deal with it, because it can just suck so hard having this condition, and then on top of that having depression, which is like a byproduct of the condition. It made it impossible for me to be able to actually manage my weight, and my weight gain wasn't even the worst part of this. I know I've sort of focused on weight for this video, but that's because my channel is a weight loss channel, and that's like the main focus at the minute. So don't think that I'm being like super like that's the only thing I care about, which is like the weight gain aspect. Like other things do come into it, but today I'm talking about the weight gaining aspect and how mentally I've dealt with that and sort of pushed myself to keep trying and actually do something about it. So I think the first thing you need to do if you have a condition of any sort that's causing you to gain weight is to do as much research as possible about your condition. This is probably something I sort of lack in. I haven't done as much research simply because it's very difficult to find research that is actually correct and backed up, because not many people know about this condition. It's one of those things that a lot of people have, but not much has been put into it. So you can Google search, like say for example, there are a ton of foods that I'm not meant to eat. Like let's search right now, foods that I shouldn't eat for hypothyroidism. Yep, that's one of the top searches. What not to eat with hypothyroidism. Okay, here we go. All things that I shouldn't be eating. Foods that contain gluten. That includes bread, pasta, cereals, beer. That's fine, I hate beer anyway. Soy foods, tofu, tempeh, edamame beans, soy milk, etc, etc. And if you actually do research into it, like how did they come to this conclusion that I'm not allowed a peach? Or why aren't I allowed a peach? What's wrong with the peach to my body? And I know for a fact that there are certain foods that can help your body or, you know, make it worse for your body. But my problem is with a lot of this stuff, there's not much research. So it's really just about seeing what works for you. So that takes me on to my next step. Do the research, but then take it with a pinch of salt, because odds are they haven't done a big enough pool of a research. So for example, they could have come to this conclusion by testing it out on 25 people with hypothyroidism. That is not big enough considering there's many people around the world with hypothyroidism. So for example, it'd be a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Accurate. It'd be a lot more accurate, for example, if they got like a pool of 100 people or 1,000, even 100,000 people with hypothyroidism to do this research on, rather than just 25 people, because then you're not going to get the best results from it. So that's why I'm not a huge fan of just Googling everything, and I do try to come across as many health professionals as possible and ask them lots of questions. That's what I tend to do. That's how I get a lot of my information, which has been good. That's one huge thing that I highly recommend. Now, next up is just to sort of accept that you have the condition. And I think that's something that took me a very long time to do. It took me so long to stop blaming myself for what was happening and actually just accept that I actually had a condition. And because it's one of those conditions that it's not like physically visible, you can't always see it, and you're constantly second guessing yourself, like, is this me just being a crap person, or is it the condition? It makes it so hard to pinpoint and just be like, yeah, it's the condition, it's not me. And you also don't want to use it as an excuse all the time as well. But I think once you accept that you have the condition, and actually today I decided to stay in bed an extra hour because of this condition, and I just felt lethargic and tired today, and that's okay. And just to sort of ease up and give myself that break and not constantly be on at myself like, oh, you're a piece of poo, you're a piece of poo for not getting up right now. And yeah, I just spent a lot of time beating myself up for something that wasn't entirely my fault. So yeah, just learn to accept that you have the condition and not beat yourself yourself up about things that you basically can't control. And then my last tip is just to make a plan for the future of how you are going to go about living your life. Do you even want to lose weight? Do you just want to maintain your weight? Do you just want to see how it goes? It's up to you to figure that out. So I've gone in and out of different stages. There was a time where I was just happy to maintain the weight and I wanted to do that. That was about 20 pounds ago, when I'd already gained about, I think I'd gained about 15, no, how much had I gained? Maybe 10 pounds. And I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna just, no, maybe more than that. I can't remember how much I've gained. But yeah, about 20 pounds ago, I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna just maintain this weight for the rest of my life. I'm cool with it. I'm happy. Do you know what? This is my condition. I'm gonna be cool with it. I'm being healthy. I'm exercising. I'm eating right. 20 pounds later, what the hell happened? Like, what's going on? And then that's what's made me panic and worry. I'm like, oh wow, this condition is serious and I should not downplay it. And that's the reason I've decided to try and lose weight, just because I know as I get older, it's just gonna like increasingly get harder and harder for me to maintain a weight that I can maintain my health and my activity level at and all that good stuff. So that is why I have chosen to lose weight, and I'm excited for it actually. You guys just know I love a challenge. I'm one of those weird people who has just like a challenge. I just like having something to strive towards. So even when I was like, you know, happy with my weight and I'm at a good place, I was like, okay, let me see if I can run a marathon. And that was me, just because I always love a good challenge and I'm always looking to push myself physically in different ways. So last year it was a lot of running. You guys saw me do all kinds of races. I have a ton of medals and I love it. This year we're going back to focusing on that good old weight loss journey and seeing if I can do it for a second time through. And I'm really excited because this weight loss journey is so different from my first one in the way that I have this extra barrier. I'm now like an adult. I'm just trying to make it happen. I'm just trying to take control of my body and not feel like it belongs to this condition. It belongs to me and I'm gonna kick its ass. So that's the plan. So yeah, that's all I want to talk about living with a weight gaining condition basically. And for me, in that case, it's hypothyroidism. And I've seen so many of you talking about different conditions you have and you've been dealing with it and it's been really tough. So let me know how you've been getting on with your various different barriers. It doesn't have to be a condition, whether you have different barriers that you feel are stopping you from being able to reach your goals or achieve something you want to achieve. Comment down below what your barrier is. My barrier is hypothyroidism and also a really crap mindset at times. What's your barrier? I'd love to know. And also with your barrier, also put like how you're going to overcome it and how you're going to push through it and all that good stuff, because I'd love to know. But anyway, that was today's Motivation Monday. Got super serious towards the end, but it's all good. It's all okay. We're feeling positive. We're feeling fly, feeling fresh, we're feeling luscious, and that's all that matters. So yeah, I'm really excited to continue to share my weight loss journey with you guys and how I'm getting on with this condition. And if I have any breakthroughs or if I find anything that works, like for example, cutting out peaches, if I stop eating peaches and everything suddenly becomes great for me, I'll let you guys know. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay luscious, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!